Good morning, mathematicians. Today we're doing lesson 1.4, parallelograms. Our learning target today is I can classify quadrilaterals. Go ahead and jot down the date and the lesson. And think about our learning target. I can classify quadrilaterals. If that's our learning target, then for our math learning intention, I will be successful when I can classify quadrilaterals. We're going to take a look at the math message. You have this paper as well. Take a look at the top. It says all of these have something in common. None of these has it. So number one, which of these has it? Circle them. So what property do the circled polygons have in common? Many of you notice, looking at these top shapes here, that each of these has 4 sides. Knowing this, we know that all of these shapes up here are quadrilaterals. None of these shapes are quadrilaterals. So down below, we should have circled the square, the trapezoid. We could circle this shape and the trapezoid over here as well. So what do they have in common? All have 4 sides. Which means all are quadrangles. Down below you could draw a 4-sided shape then. As we move on, we're going to look at another property. One property that is simple to count and notice is the number of sides. We can also look at the property of having parallel sides. Parallel means lines on a flat surface that never meet or cross. They do not intersect. When we are thinking of parallel lines, we might think of railroad tracks. They continue, and no matter how far you go either direction, they don't cross, they don't come together, or the train would not be able to continue on its path. We can have parallel lines, parallel line segments, or parallel rays. When 2 lines do meet and form a perfect 90-degree angle, like this, those are called perpendicular line segments. Turn and tell your partner what is the difference between parallel and perpendicular line segments. We notice that in the word parallel there are 2 L's that are actually 2 parallel line segments. So that can help us remember that parallel means 2 lines or line segments that are an equal distance apart, just like the 2 L's in parallel. As we continue with today's lesson, it's important to be able to classify these quadrangles. Quadrangles are either not parallelograms or they are parallelograms, meaning they have 2 pairs of parallel sides. The shapes that are not parallelograms are the kite and the trapezoid. Remember, the kite has 2 sides next to each other that are the same length, and then 2 other sides that are the same length. There are no parallel sides. A trapezoid always has 1 pair of parallel sides, but the other 2 do not need to be parallel. The quadrangles that are parallelograms are the rectangle and the rhombus. A square is a special type of rhombus. Let's see if we can answer some questions about this. Is a square always a rhombus? Yes, a square is a special type of rhombus. It's a rhombus that has perfectly square corners or 90-degree corners. Now if we flip that question around, is a rhombus always a square? No, a square is one kind of rhombus, but not every single rhombus is a square. Let's look at a rectangle. Is a rectangle always a type of rhombus? No, a rectangle could be a type of rhombus. A rectangle could also be a special square, but it's not always a rhombus or a square. There will be some challenge problems that come up today dealing with the relationship between a parallelogram, a rectangle, a rhombus, and a square. As you work today, you will be following along in your learning journey. Turn to day 4 and write down today's date. Today you will be completing page 10 and then page 11 in your math journal about parallelograms. You will then do subtraction top it. When you do this, you'll need to find your student reference book and check page 263. And you'll also complete your math boxes. Again, once you complete the top 3, the math journal pages, you need to show your teacher and get it checked off. When you're done with all of part A, so all 3 of the journal pages and playing the game, you will then go on to activity B or activity C. For both of these, you need a math master. The math masters are always found in the middle room up on top of that cart. Make it a great day.